is another form of molality. So the molality questions, right? So look at this. Calculate the molality of a solution consisting of 34 ml of benzene. The density was given. What does in mean? That this one, the benzene was dissolved inside this one. So the benzene is the solute, right? While this compound, C6H14, this compound should be hexane, if I'm not mistaken. It's hexane. Let's check if it's hexane. Let's check if it satisfies the formula for alkane. Okay, put 6 here. C6, 2 times 6, 12 plus 2, 14. Yeah, it's hexane. It's hexane. So we are told to find the molality of a solution consisting of 34 ml. This is the volume, this is the density of this guy. This is the solute, this is the solvent. So now, let us proceed and get the mole of the solute first. Remember that mole of solute is mass over molar mass. Right? We can get the molar mass of C6H6. The molar mass of C6H6 is 12 times 6 plus 1 times 6. Right? Should give us 72. So 72 plus 6 should give you 78. Okay? 78 grams per mole. That is the molar mass, right? So, what next? We don't know the mass. Okay? But they gave us volume and they gave us density. So density, from your knowledge of chemistry and physics, density is mass over volume, right? So we can actually make this mass subject. So this mass will become density times volume, right? Since we know the density and the volume, we can get the what? Mass. So the mass of this solid becomes density. What's the value? 0.877 times what is the volume? The volume is 34. Now somebody will ask, how will the unit cancel out? Let me show you. This is in gram per ml multiplied by 34 ml. So ml will cancel ml. So what is left is the mass in grams. So the mass of solute will be equal to 0.877 times 34, right? So the mass will become 29.82 gram. So we can go ahead and find the what? The mole, right? So the mole of solute is equal to 29.82 divided by the mass, the molar mass. The molar mass was 78 divided by 78. So whatever you have here becomes the mole. So 29.82 divided by 78. So you have 0.382 mole. Okay? So we only got the what? The mole, this, of the solute. So we need to get the mass of the solvent so we can get the molality. So how do you get the mass of the solvent again? They gave you the volume, they gave you the density. So mass of solvent will be equal to, from here, remember that the mass of the solvent was density times volume. So it's the same thing that will happen here. Mass of solvent is going to be density times volume. Okay? So what is the density? 0.66 times, what is the volume? 187. So when you multiply these two things, you get 0.66 times 187. You will have 123.42 grams. Right? So this is just the mass of the solvent. But remember, it must be in kilograms. So mass of solvent is equal to 123.42 divided by what? 1000. So when you do that, what will you have? You have 123. So you have 0.1234 kilogram. Right? That is the mass of the solvent. Please, let's recap so that for those of you that are lost, you might follow up. What did we do? We are looking for molality. Molality. Okay? Molality is number of mole of solute over what? Mass of the solvent in kg. So what is the number of mole of the solute? We are going to get it from mass over molar mass. This mass was not given. We use the density and the volume. We use these two things here to get the mass. So that we can still plug it here. After getting the molar mass, we did this. That's how we got this here. Okay? So when you now get the mole of the solute, the next thing now is to get the mass of the solvent, which is still mass of solvent equal to density times volume. Okay? So the density of the solvent is this. This volume is this. So multiply these two things, you have the mass. You convert it to kilogram because the mass of the solvent must be in kilogram. So that's what divided by 1000 will have this. So lastly now is for us to get the molality. So the molality becomes, you now have to use this value. The molality becomes dividing this with this. That's the molality. Mole over what? Mass in kilogram. So it's going to be 0.382 divided by 0.123. So when you do that division, you have 3.10, right? 3.11. Let's use 3.11 mole